Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Disney Dining Show. Coming to you from the Bob Varley Studio in Orlando, Florida. I'm your host, Pete Werner, joined via Skype this week by my good friends Denny Sunderly.
Hi there.
And our associate producer, Mr. Corey Fiascanaro.
Hey, everybody.
So before we get started this week, just want to remind everybody, please go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You'll find a little button for that right down below if you're watching us on YouTube, of course. And if you click that little bell, you'll be notified every time we've uploaded a new video, and we're always uploading lots of great content, so you don't want to miss out on anything. So please go ahead and do that now. This week, we are going to talk about mobile ordering, since mobile ordering is going to become a big part of our reality as the parks reopen. A lot of places are going to be relying on mobile ordering to start keeping the crowds inside the restaurants down and things like that. So we thought we'd talk about our favorite places for mobile, our favorite places for mobile ordering. And I thought what we should do is maybe talk about each of the theme parks and, our favorite one in each theme park and our favorite one in the resorts. How's that sound?
Cool.
Sounds good.
All right. So Denny, I'm going to start with you.
Okay, so for mine, I definitely have two favorite mobile order locations. One is actually one's in a park, and then one is at Disney Springs. That's the only one that's available actually at Disney Springs. So I don't really have one in the resorts, although I do really enjoy the resort dining locations. But I just don't find that I have to use mobile order there very, very much as far as crowd levels, that kind of thing. But first, before I get to those choices, I just want to back up just for a second and really quickly bring people up to speed on what mobile order is if it's not something that you've used in the past. So mobile order is a way at Walt Disney World via the My Disney Experience app to go ahead and pre-order and prepay for your food. So if you're coming to Walt Disney World, definitely download My Disney Experience. That's going to be huge. You're going to get to do a ton of things while you're here for your vacation ahead of time, whole 9 yards. You'll be able to see wait times, park maps. You can find bathroom locations, dining locations, all of that. Mobile order is a functionality within My Disney Experience. And so you get to go on, you get to find out exactly which dining locations participate in the mobile order functionality. Not every restaurant does. And you'll be able to see the menu. And sometimes there are even secret items on the menu in the mobile order app. You'll be able to choose it. You'll link a debit or a credit card. You'll pay for it in advance. Now, one change that we've seen with mobile order since the reopening of Disney Springs has been seen at Deluxe Burger. So Deluxe Burger right now at Disney Springs is the only mobile order location, that is currently up and running. And what they're doing right now is that you have to request an arrival time window. So you can say, hey, I'll be there between 11 and 11:30 to pick up my burger. That, I don't know if that's a social distancing thing or if they're trying to just pace things out. But that is something that we are seeing right now, and it'll be interesting to see if that happens at the other mobile order locations when they open up here at Walt Disney World. So getting back to your question, Pete, my favorite place to use mobile order and one of my favorite dining locations, period, at Walt Disney World is in Disney's Animal Kingdom in Pandora World of Avatar. It's Satu'li Canteen. Satu'li Canteen, I know we have talked about it ad nauseum, but it is fantastic. It is worth, in my opinion, every nice thing that could ever be said about it. The mobile order at Satu'li Canteen is fantastic. So if I walk into Satu'li and it's lunchtime and it's crowded and that line is just super long and I don't feel like waiting in it, I'll pull up the app, pull up mobile order, and even if I have to wait 5 or 7 minutes, at least I'm not waiting 5 or 7 minutes in that long line. I'm waiting 5 or 7 minutes over to the side just for my order to be prepared and then brought to me, there at the window. It's super convenient. one of the things about the mobile order pickup locations, which is really, really nice, is that it's usually just over to the side. So it's kind of out of the path of all the zooiness, because restaurants like Restaurantosaurus in Animal Kingdom can become a zoo during lunchtime. And so you'll find the mobile order location, pickup location, a little out of the path, the flow of traffic, which is really nice. My second place is Deluxe Burger at Disney Springs. If I am out and about, because as a local, I get to kind of use Disney Springs as my mall. If I have to pick up something at Sephora, or I'm just out and about and doing some window shopping, I get hungry, I can pull up Deluxe Burger in the mobile order function in the app. Deluxe Burger is really great, in my opinion, but those burgers are huge, and I don't always want a ginormous cheeseburger. I mean, there's only so many cheeseburgers you can eat, right? So sometimes I will pull up the app and I will order on the kids menu in the mobile order, get their kids cheeseburger, and their kids cheeseburger is still a great size. It's just not ginormous. You'll pick 2 sides with that cheeseburger with whatever you order. I usually get fries, and it's just the right amount of fries. So no shame in ordering off the kids menu, and mobile order helps that out just a little bit more. They'll let you know when it's ready. You'll come up, pick it, get your sauces, and you're on your way. So those are my 2.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned Satu'li Canteen and the kids menu thing, because Satu'li Canteen is one of my top mobile ordering spots too. But then with the cheeseburger pods at Satu'li, they used to be a regular menu item, but now they're like a kids menu pick, and that's what Haley wants there. And she always asks me, she's like, "Are they gonna let me order them?" Like, of course they're gonna let you order them, but for people who are like, I don't feel comfortable ordering a kids menu item, but that's really what I want. Just easy, plug it into your mobile order. You can customize your order that way, and it's really simple. But also on top of Satu'li Canteen, Aloha Isle, and Magic Kingdom, it's not for food, it's for Dole Whip, but it's always super satisfying to see that really, really long line for Dole Whip, and you just place your mobile order, you walk up, it's like fast passing your Dole Whip. It's the absolute best. I also wanted to mention, like, kind of an honorable mention in Magic Kingdom at Pinocchio Village House. Now, I really don't love Pinocchio Village House that much for the food. Like, it's pretty much like basic quick service. I'll go there, and like their pasta and red sauce is something that like I would make at home and just be like, yeah, this is fine. But what they have there is, I grew up. And now it's not a slush puppy, but I grew up always drinking slush puppies. And as I got older and older and older, I feel like slushes that are slush puppy quality have become harder and harder to find. And if you're a fan of slush puppies, basically the blue slushie at Pinocchio Village House is pretty much a slush puppy. And it's just
I
amazing.
have no earthly idea what a slush puppy is, so that probably just means I'm old.
Oh, no.
Is it like a Slurpee?
So it's the same idea as a Slurpee, but a lot more syrupy than a Slurpee. It's less of an icy. And I mean, so it was huge up in Massachusetts. Slush puppies were like the thing. But now they're like a rarity. And I'm always in the mood craving a slushie just like that. And so far the closest thing that I've found to one is at Pinocchio Village, and you can mobile order it. So just all
right. Well, that's 2 minutes of my life I'm not getting back. So, all right. When I look at the list of where mobile ordering is available, I realize that it's a collection of mediocrity as far as Disney food is concerned. In the Magic Kingdom, like if I was in the Magic Kingdom, where I'd be most likely to use it, either Pecos Bill's, because that can be pretty good, or Casey's Corner. And I love the hot dogs and stuff at Casey's Corner. I just do. But the main reason is that it gets really packed in there. So from a social distancing standpoint, mobile order there is really important, I think. Mm-hmm. In the resorts, it's going to be very limited when this comes back because only the DVC resorts are going to be available. So, top of my list for this was be the Mara at
Same.
Animal Kingdom Lodge. Assuming that's open when we don't know if these places are going to be open when the resorts reopen, but the Mara would absolutely be. The Contemporary has Contempo Cafe. If they were giving away food free at the Contempo Cafe, I still wouldn't eat it. Gasparilla Grill over at the Grand Floridian, also very good. I think it's a very underrated quick service location at the resorts. Polynesian has Captain Cook's.
Yeah.
And if you haven't done those coconut curry meatballs, you haven't lived. And then Saratoga Springs has Artist Palette, probably the worst quick service restaurant at any resort in Walt Disney World,
no!
in my opinion.
I like Artist Palette.
I know you do. I know you do, but you also just spent an hour and a half on slush puppies or whatever they were.
Oh, I know I did. I know I did.
And then Wilderness Lodge has Roaring Fork, which is okay. I mean, I'm not doing cartwheels for Roaring Fork, but it's okay. I agree also with Animal Kingdom with Satuli Canteen. I think that's the best place for mobile order on property. The food there is so good. But I also think we're going to see this list expand.
Yeah.
Because they're going to need more places I think this is going to be a big part of the new normal is an expansion of mobile ordering. My favorite place to mobile order, I'm drawing a blank, in Adventureland, in Disneyland.
Bengal barbecue.
Barbecue.
Bengal barbecue. It's so good.
Now that, get on a plane, fly to California just to do that. It's worth it. It's so good. It's so good.
The last time we were in Disneyland, because I tried Bengal barbecue for the first time on our Disneyland trip we did back in March of 2019. And after I tried it, the next time we went for the opening of Galaxy's Edge, I literally made a stop over there every single day on that trip. But to further mention, so Satuli Canteen, still kind of a newer restaurant. Also, Docking Bay 7 is a newer restaurant with mobile ordering, really good. But these new restaurants were designed with mobile ordering in mind, and then some of the other ones were kind of added later. But I think you can expect to see them trying everything they can to implement it at restaurants that weren't built with it in mind. Also, to mention something that I haven't experienced yet, but I've only heard good things about, including the team. Craig and Rhino went over there to do it, but Regal Eagle Smokehouse in Epcot. I believe the only location that supports it as of the recording of this video. The other location that supported it in Epcot was Electric Umbrella, which of course is closed. So Regal Eagle, again, haven't eaten it, have no opinion on it, but I've only heard good things.
Yeah, so Regal Eagle, it's so, it is so good. I got to get over there I had the chance to get over there before the shutdown, before the temporary closure, and I had the plant-based jackfruit burger, which was delicious. And if you're a Muppets fan, you should get over there and just for the Muppet stuff covering the walls alone. There's lots of little references. You'll want time to kind of stand there and read it all and look at it. But if you want some great barbecue, that's a great location. And I highly recommend they're not plant-based macaroni and cheese. So it's kind of head and shoulders above other mac and cheeses that you'll find on Walt Disney World property.
Well, as I said, they're going to have to expand this, right? So where do we want to see it expanded? And do you think we'll ever see it expanded as far as table service? Because think about it. Let's say you're staying in the resort and, I don't know. I don't know if how that would work with table service, but, most restaurants do offer to-go orders. So Can't imagine
I
they wouldn't, but
I think what we're going to see, personally, like if I was in charge of making this call, I would say that all the restaurants at a given resort offer their own room service. So you look at a resort's room service menu, and it'll say, for Bay Lake Tower, for example, that comes from the Wave, and they have a set menu of things that you can get. But for example, you can't get bacon and eggs off that room service menu, and you can't get anything from California Grill. So what I would say is, if you're staying at Contemporary or Bay Lake Tower, offer a room service for all the locations there. Offer it for Contempo Cafe, offer it for the Wave, offer it for California Grill, and same for the Poly, same for Grand Floridian, et cetera, et cetera.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so we have seen restaurants throughout this time of social distancing and just combating the coronavirus. We've seen restaurants throughout the country go to a different kind of methodology on how to serve the community, and from places that didn't do curbside pickup before are now doing curbside pickup, or just making meals available to people who want them in a different method. In a different fashion. And wouldn't it be great if some of that was brought to some of the table service locations at Walt Disney World? What if a family or a traveling party who has heard great things about that restaurant but doesn't really necessarily feel quite comfortable or safe, whatever, sitting in a restaurant at the time? Wouldn't it be great if they could mobile order that great food from Kona Cafe or name one, any of the table service locations at Walt Disney World, and then pick it up and take it back to eat it where they do feel more comfortable, maybe at the resort room or in just a more remote location at the resort or in the park. It would be neat to see some of that.
Well, I even think that it wouldn't work with all of them, but with some table service, just for locals, people who live within 10, 15 minutes of the parks, being able to grab takeout from some of these restaurants would absolutely help their revenue stream and, keep the social distancing that they need to keep right now. And I think,
Right.
I think you're going to see a lot of ideas being tried over the course of the next several months, because Disney is probably doing the same thing most companies are doing right now. How do we evolve our business model for the next time this happens? How do we evolve our business model to make sure that we can still survive and sustain if this were to happen again? Most recent point of reference, I know it's not an apples to apples comparison, when Shanghai ran over budget and they started doing all this stuff to try and generate more revenue. Now, most of that was bad. Okay, it was just bad. And some of it was downright stupid. The cabanas in Tomorrowland were, that will forever be one of the dumbest ideas I've ever heard Disney come up with. They put cabanas in Tomorrowland and then charged, what was it, like $900 for these cabanas? It was insane. It was insane. But I think you're going to see them developing ideas, and that's again, logistically, I'm not sure how it would work to do something like that with table service, but I think you're going to see them try different things and morph their business to adapt to this. And for I'm kind of excited to see what they come up with.
Yeah, me too.
And we'll find out June 22nd. I don't have a lot of expectations that when the resorts open, there's going to be a plethora of dining options available. So I'm kind of going in with that. And I think anybody else planning to go, but especially before the parks open, should kind of have that in mind, that, we don't know what this is going to look like. So I'm going in with my expectations managed, and I'm not going to get there and be upset if it's not this or it's not that. Like I said, if necessary, I'll run the Publix and buy groceries and cook in my, whatever. So, all right. So that's going to be our show for this week, folks. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back with you again next week with another edition of the Disney Dining Show. Have a great week, folks.